Peace. What's good, y'all? You know, it's fucked up. I thought I recorded this, and I saw it. I saw it recording, but and I saw the timer, but for some fucking reason it didn't record. So anyway, it's your boy Anti-simp, and you know, I wanted to talk about something that I've been observing based off of previous content and just reports that I've been reading on channels that I've been following that pretty much report the news on what's going on in the world. And I gotta say that I think relationship dynamics as people know them, they're about to change. No longer will women be able to use taking care of the house as motive for why men should be the providers. Because of technology, things women used to do back in the day that involved taking care of the house has been relegated to save time and energy. When I had made this a post on Facebook, and I talked about how, you know, women nowadays like to, you know, use, you know, taking care of the house as if it's some, you know, all day thing that can't be accomplished in a short amount of time. But it can be, and like a guy in the comment section has said, you know, you no longer have to spend the entire day paying your bills. You know, because paying your bills back in the day used to involve you traveling around the city. The gas company, the electricity company, or the electric company, the water company, insurance, your rent. You know, some people used to have to travel to their to the office to pay their rent, or they would have to mail it in ahead of time. But nowadays, because of the internet, because of technology, the direction that we're going forward, you can now you can do almost everything online now. Rent, you can pay your rent with CashApp or PayPal. Like I said, this whole taking care of the household thing has been relegated to save energy and time. Washer and dryer machines enable you to be able to pop clothes in them instead of hand washing them, hanging them up and drying. You know, you don't have to, the only thing you have to do now is pop them in, you know, half hour to 45 minutes, depending on how soiled your clothes are. Half hour to 45 minutes, your clothes are done. You take them out and you pop them in the dryer. And then if you have another load of clothes, you do the same thing with them. And we're talking about 2 hours, probably up to 2 hours for every 2 loads. Not every 2 loads, every load. So you take one set of clothes out, put it in the dryer. Usually the dryer takes longer than the washing machine, so by the time your dryer is done, which again I don't think I've had any washing machines that take longer than 30 minutes, but some of them might do that depending on how soiled your clothes are. So you could be looking at a half hour to 45 minutes for the dryer, and a half hour. Sometimes washing can take an hour. Like I said, it depends on how soiled your clothes are. And sometimes they might need to be re-washed, but it's not an all-day thing that you got to sit in front of. Like if you were at the laundromat and you got to sit there, it's not back in the day. You could actually buy an affordable washer and dryer and do your laundry all in one day. That would be the smart thing to do. Do all the laundry in one day, and you could probably do it on Sunday or a day off. You know, that's what most people do. And then after the clothes are done, you just need to fold them and put them away. You know, that's you don't have to sit in front of the dryer and wait for it to be done all day unless you're using like a public dryer and washer in like an apartment complex or something. Then you gotta keep an eye on your shit, because then people just steal shit, man. Moving on, household kitchen appliances. They make preparing meals really simple and easy. It's as simple and easy as set it and forget it. But you know, I would recommend y'all keep a timer, you know, just in case. Set the timer on your phone, and you know, just monitor it, because you never know. You could just set a roast in the oven, and you know, you might need to turn that motherfucker. You know, it might be something you got to turn over. You know, you roast your chicken, or you know, your beef or your pork or whatever the case is, your fish. You know, you might need to turn them over halfway. You have everything has digital clocks. There's a digital clock on the oven, so you can even set the digital clock on the oven to, you know, to go off at a time that you need to turn it, and you wouldn't have to turn the oven all the way off. And then like once your meat or whatever you're preparing finishes baking, it can be the oven will turn off. In some cases, like the oven will turn off. So in the old days, the ovens wouldn't turn off; they would still keep going. So you'd have to get your ass up, otherwise you will burn your stuff. And I would have prepared myself, big ass trays of macaroni and cheese at a family Thanksgiving or a family Christmas dinner. I've done that shit. Big fucking meats and shit, turkey. I've done that shit. Hams. I've done that shit. Many of us have been doing this shit on our own. So right now, my argument is pretty much like, my argument is that, I probably sound more like a provider in what I'm saying right now because of I know how shit should function. A bitch is probably thinking like, if you provide those things, then, we'll be able to use them. And it's like, what do I need you for if I could do these things myself by myself? If you don't use the oven and you like, you prefer other things, air fryers. Air fryers I have an air fryer. I have an air fryer and a slow cooker, and I like both of them. I like the slow cooker because it's good for, making slow roast and shit, or like big dishes or whatever. Like if I was struggling, one of my favorite types of meals to make is like get a bag of pinto beans, which is like less than $1 or $1.50, and then you get like a $5 pack of like a meat, like a smoked meat, like turkey tails or turkey butts, or I don't know. Some of y'all don't eat pork, but I probably would go with like some type of pork or whatever, smoked pork something. I don't know. I've had some good shit. I've eaten good foods, especially if I was like, I wanted to save money. I've eaten some good food. So you could just toss some meat, like turkey tails, in a pot with some onions and some garlic and shit and seasonings. And then like once you done, you just toss a bag of beans in there, and from the liquid, the fat and liquid from the meat and the water that you add to the pot will just create some type of gravy, and it'll just work itself out. So we have rice cookers, pressure cookers, slow cookers, air fryers. I have an air fryer. I love an air fryer. In times where I've lived in places and the oven was out of commission, the air fryer came through in a clutch, and it was like fast. You can cook something as big as a chicken leg quarter in less than 20 minutes in an air fryer. And you could probably cook multiples if you got the room for it. I've cooked like 2 or 3 of them in them Jones. And the big ones, it's around the same time. I set it for like a half hour. We're talking about, 12 minutes later, it's already crispy and ready to turn over. Like for like the past month or so, I've been using an air fryer because I just be in a rush. I'll be fucking busy, man. I don't be having time to wait for food to cook for an entire hour. And then, like, once the meat is done, I still got to prepare, like, vegetables and shit. I can prepare the vegetables maybe ahead of time. There's only so much you can do to prep the meat, but it's not going to cook any faster than, depending on the size of it, for an hour. I'm not going to turn the fucking oven on just to cook a bag of wings. That's just bananas. I would probably turn it on and cook, like, several trays of wings, and I would eat the wings throughout the week. But, again, this is, like, meal preparation shit. This is shit that I know how to do without Brawds. I'm not, like, y'all... I'm not making y'all a case for y'all that y'all are dependable for anything other than babysitting the kids. And in that sense, you sound like a high-priced babysitter. But moving forward. So, with all these devices, you can even do laundry while prepping meals throughout the week. You do your laundry on Sunday or whatever day you have off or the time you have to yourself, and then you toss the goddamn roast in the oven. And then when your roast is probably done or halfway done, by the time it's officially finished and you prep all the other stuff that you need, if you haven't already prepped it and you're just ready to just get it, making, your laundry should be done and be ready to, should be ready for the dryer. And while you're eating, it can be catching up. While you're cleaning up the kitchen, the dryer could be done with your clothes. This is not an all-day thing that Brawds make it seem. Shopping can be done online. Grocery shopping can be done online. There is no excuse for why a woman doesn't have a stream of income And even if she wants to stay at home, there's no excuse for her not to have a stream of income. There's no excuse for her not to have something coming in, even if she was staying at home. I don't even have an issue with broads wanting to stay at home to be with the children and to take care of the home. I guess take care of the home as much as you can, you know. But I don't have an issue with y'all wanting to get down like that. My issue is y'all don't want to contribute to the relationship at all in terms of like being useful. Your husband is out there, or your man is out there working, and he's working one goddamn job to provide for his whole family, and you could relieve some of that pressure by having a side income. You know, something to help put money away for expenses, emergency things. Like, hopefully, you know, his car doesn't break down on his way to work or anywhere, and he doesn't have to take that money out of what he's already earning. I'm not finna have these discussions about, you know, adulthood, what a man is, when women aren't even financially educated in the first place. Y'all have these degrees, put them shits to use. You don't want to go outside the work, find a job working at home. String together multiple streams of income and make that shit happen. So that, you know, when your husband gets home, you know, not only did he contribute to the bills, but he knows that there's other money coming in for y'all. And it's for y'all, man. Like, this doesn't make it's for your whole family. For all the women who want to, you know, be taken care of, it's like, I get it. I don't have an issue with y'all wanting to stay at home and be taken care of. You know, my issue is that you aren't contributing financially to your relationship. That's the issue. And we have dealt with recessions before. We had a recession 10 years, not 10 years ago, 2008. So a little over 10 years ago. And before a lot of things that was happening, there was a housing crash. There's many things that happened, and a lot of these dudes, you know, didn't have y'all as backups, as help. Like a lot of y'all arguments when we having conversations about money, especially on social media, on Twitter, y'all could constantly calling somebody broke because, you know, they can't provide for everything that you could possibly need under one check, and that is financial illiteracy right there. That is fiscally irresponsible for him to be the only provider. If you want to stay at home, then get a job and provide the savings. Provide the funds for an emergency, excuse me, for a short-term and a long-term emergency savings. And if you've met those goals, then save up for other things while you're at it with your with a car fund. Not to get a new car, but for potential issues that might happen with the car. You know, brake repairs, flat tires. You know, maybe new tires every year or every 6 months. Hopefully you don't get a windshield crack or, you know, a broken tail light or new windshield. Like, you need to have a fund for those type of things. Expecting a dude to provide all of these things under one income, it's like most people in this country aren't even making $30,000. We're talking about over 60% aren't making $30,000. Less than 10% is making $100,000. Be realistic. Your future depends on it. A lot of y'all that were talking so much shit about us online, your jobs are in jeopardy. Because if you got sent home to work at home, and your boss is looking at the numbers and thinking somebody else that makes less than you does more work than you can kiss your job goodbye. And considering unemployment is at 30%, and most people who are on unemployment right now or are unemployed, they don't even have they can't even get the benefits. So really, you need to be thinking like you need to be working with your men. There are so many opportunities online that you can use to earn an income and financially contribute to your household. It doesn't make you the provider of the household to contribute towards savings and stuff like that. It doesn't make you any less of or any more of a woman or whatever the case is. It means y'all working together, man. I get that you want to stay home and be safe. You want to be safe from all of the evils your man has to deal with. But we're headed for a financial meltdown, and you don't want to rely on one income. If he pays all the bills, it makes sense for you to be the one to basically put your money towards savings. Emergency savings, short-term savings, long-term savings. You don't want to have any streams of, you don't want to have one stream of income. You want to have multiple streams of income so you can weather the storm that's headed for us. That way you can be ahead of everyone else. And you don't have to just survive, but you can live. And you can live in the new world we're headed for. Alright, y'all. I done ranted long enough. And that's all the time I have for this video. So I will say this. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, which I'm seeing my data, and a lot of y'all who have been watching my videos haven't subscribed, so you should subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you can be notified whenever I drop a new video. And I'll have all of my social media handles in the description. And if you're thinking about, possibly getting involved in stocks, I have an invite link to Robinhood in the description, in which if you sign up, yes, I get something for you signing up. However, we both get something when you sign up. We both get a free stock for when you sign up, and save your money. Because around this time next year, I'm reading reports that the stock market might crash a couple more times this year. So save your money, stack your paper, get all the education you need for stocks and stuff like that, and just wait, because there's going to be a lot of things around this time next year that's going to be on clearance. Everything is going to be on sale. Houses, cars, whatever you feel like you missed out on, because of your predicament or whatever the case is, you will have the chance. You just need to stack your money and get it together, and you can be a part of it. You can sink your teeth into some of those stocks that are on clearance or really cheap or whatever. Anyway, that's all the time I have. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.